everyone. Welcome back to Coffee House Comics. This is a bad first date story with a guy who I call Mood Boy. His real name is Jeff. He was introduced to me by a college friend, and Jeff had resurfaced in her life. Jeff went to high school with her. So my friend decided to set me up with him. She thought maybe we'd be a good match because we have a lot in common. So I had talked to this guy on the phone quite a few times, and we seemed to hit it off pretty good. During that time, I was getting my kitchen redone, so I started telling him that I'm redoing my kitchen, and he had told me he had just gotten his kitchen redone, and from what we were talking about, it seemed like his kitchen was a lot bigger than mine. This will be relevant later. And it seemed like we really had a lot to talk about regarding the kitchen, even though our tastes were very different from each other. So that week I got my cabinets and my appliances delivered, and the boxes took over the whole living room. It was to the point where I couldn't even watch TV. The kitchen was unusable, and it really was not a good place to even stay there by myself. So I stayed at my mom's a lot. So we set a date for the following Saturday, and we decided to meet at a restaurant that was a halfway point between my house and his house. We met at this restaurant. It was in a trendy little town called Red Bank, and it wasn't far from where I lived. And we went to this cute restaurant. I can't remember the name of the restaurant now because it had changed hands so many times. But we went to this restaurant, ate a really good meal, and decided we were going to go to a couple of bars that were nearby. And I mentioned one place, but he said it was too loud. And so we were walking down the street, and there was another bar that it was kind of mellower. We figured we might go to there. So we were walking down the street toward this bar that we settled on, and there was a sign in the window that it was closed. So I was pretty disappointed. I'm sure he was too. I started suggesting other things that we could do. So he poo-pooed every idea. He had a lot of excuses why he was poo-pooing all the ideas I had. So eventually we ended up back at my condo, and I had told him beforehand that my living room was full of boxes, so that it wouldn't be a good idea for us to hang out at my condo. And he was thinking, oh, it'll be okay. And he was very pushy. So we went back to my condo, and I had a few random beers in the refrigerator, but I hadn't been there, so I didn't have much in the way of beer and snacks. And he was feeling a little bit put off because I didn't have any snacks and the beer choices were kind of lame. So we're just sitting there on the couch, and he sees a tuning pipe. I think it was for tuning your guitar, and you blow into it, and it sounds like a kazoo, and you can use it to tune your guitar with. So he asked me about it, and I said, oh, I think one of my friends might have left it here. I'm not a musician, but I have friends that are, and somebody probably left it. So he starts playing on this thing, and it sounded really bad. It just sounded like a bad attitude kazoo. So I was just trying to act interested. I was starting to get really bored. So the night just was wearing on, and he seemed a little bored. I was bored, and he seemed restless, and he said something about the boxes ruining the mood. So I said, what mood? Nothing was going to happen tonight. So it's only our first date. So he left a little bit miffed, a little disappointed, and I never saw him again. But that's okay with me because he was just a little weird. So I want to hear from you. Do you have any weird first date stories? If you do, please post in the comments below. I would love to read them. If you like this story, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video.